all, welcome to this week edition of INTERPOLITICS. This week we're going to be discussing one of the most important issues, not only for the United States, but for the rest of the world. We're going to be talking about the prospective re-election of Donald J. Trump. We're going to trying to do this from a political science perspective. So for all of those international relations, political science students out there, this might be interesting for you. So the first thing we're going to be discussing, the first concept we're going to be covering today is the incumbency advantage. So what is this concept of the incumbency advantage? Historically, in United States elections, always the incumbent, that is the politician who holds office, has a lot of advantages against new challengers and other people trying to contest or trying to compete for that position. First, all incumbent politicians have name recognition. That means people know who they are. The second thing that is very advantageous for incumbents is the ability to bring home the bacon or pork barrel politics. That means voters know and they have seen, and politicians can actually use the resources of the government, their own position, to actually benefit their chances of being re-elected. So obviously, Donald Trump, in these years of administration, has boasted very much the economic behavior of the United States economy and how it has been linked to his own personal style of administration. The third advantage that any incumbent has is called the bully pulpit. That means every incumbent politician has the possibility of making themselves being heard. So obviously, most Americans know who the president are. Almost all Americans know that Trump has a very loud voice, and they actually have to listen to him through many different outcomes and many different channels. So in terms of the incumbency advantage, we would have to go all the way back to 1980, when Reagan beat the then President Carter, and then in 1992, when Clinton beat Bush. However, in presidential elections, almost 80% of the times, the incumbent is going to be able to win a re-election. Why? Because, they are experienced campaigners. And last time, Donald Trump was able to win the Electoral College. So they know how to do it. They already done it, and that gives a tremendous advantage. So if we can conclude anything from the incumbency advantage theory, is that a lot of people prefer the devil they know versus the devil they don't. And if you put this together with party line voter in a very polarized political arena in the United States, Republicans are going to keep voting Republicans. So there is a very high possibility, and we have studied party line voting, and we don't have any reason to believe this is going to change. The second thing that we're going to be talking about is economic voting. So this has to do with rational choice and how voters act as maximizing entities. So basically, Americans have proved that they vote not much using their heart, but they are using and they're thinking about their own wallet and how well they are being doing financially under the current administration. And according to not Fox News, but the Washington Post, Americans say they feel like this is the best economy since the 1990s. We have to put this together with the fact that 59% of Americans say they are financially better off today than last year. And finally, unemployment is at the nearest of the last 50 years with 3.6%. So unemployment is down. There's a lot of people that are feeling that Trump's policies are benefiting them directly, specifically in terms of tariffs and competition. And the economy, and many say, is obviously carrying out from a positive effects on the last years of the Obama administration. The American economy is actually in good shape. So finally, we're going to be concluding on the possibility of the prospective re-election of Donald Trump. So Donald Trump was indeed impeached by the House of Representatives, only to be later acquitted by the Senate. The fact that Trump was acquitted, it was really beneficial for his image and the appealing to his base. Now he seems almost indestructible. It feels and it is portraying to his supporters that he can basically do anything. He once said that he could shoot a man down in Times Square and people still would have voted for him. So this has a very positive effect. The fact that he was acquitted has a very positive effect on the possibility of Trump being elected. Together, we have to look at the other side of the aisle with the Democrats. They seem to be in a bit of a disarray. After last week, the Iowa caucus that had a lot of issues in terms of counting, and there was a lot of problems with the app used to count the votes in regards of who would win the Iowa caucus. The Democrats just look deorganized. They seem to be a little bit all over the place. We have to think that in just a position with the fact that the Democratic field currently is very not diverse at all. I mean, there is one candidate of Asian descent, and there's another candidate which is very openly gay, but other than that, it's just older white men and women. So there's not a lot of diversity going on with the Democratic candidates. And even Obama's vice president, Joe Biden, who was in the lead just until very recently, seems to be all over the place and actually confronting voters in different scenarios. So the Democratic field just feel like it's in a bit of a chaos. We have to think that Bernie Sanders, which is a lot of people's favorite, is indeed a self-proclaimed socialist. And there's a lot of Americans that has very negative connotations when they hear somebody is a socialist. And historically, American voters tend to be more to the center than to the left side of politics. And finally, former Mayor Pete Buttigieg. He was the mayor of South Bend, Indiana, a small city in the United States, and not very representative of the enormous diversity present in this great country. So as I said, he is very openly gay, but his critiques mostly attack him on his lack of experience. So even though he seemed to have won the Iowa caucus, there's a lot of people that they don't see him having the necessary experience to actually lead the Democratic race. So instead, I mean, from all of what we have been discussing today, from a political science point of view, there is a really, really large chance that Donald Trump is going to be reelected. So Democrats really, really have to raise up their game, really have to come together, and especially put up a strong challenger that is going to be able to defeat all of the incumbency advantages that we have outlined in this video. Thanks for watching another edition of INTERPOLITICS, coming from you from Instituto de Ciencias de Gobierno y Desarrollo Estratégico from WAP University in the beautiful city of Puebla. Please follow us on our social media channels, Pepe Cisneros Jr. on Facebook, Josean Cisneros on Twitter, and at IGDE on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for watching.